How strong is Law? Trafalgar D. Law, the captain of the Hard Pirates, allied with Monkey D. Luffy, and is known as one of the big names of the worst generation, that disastrous group. Ever since we first met Law in Sabaody or Shabundi, I don't care how you pronounce it, in that arc, we've seen he had a badass vibe to him. When he's like, X-Drake, how many men have you killed? And then you see him with Luffy and Eustace Kid as the big three, the main trio of the supernovas at the time. It was hyped to see that Law was his power, especially his power, his Devil Fruit. He had Marine's head on his hand, like what the hell? And then we find out a big incident called the Rocky Port incident, in which he delivers 100 hearts to the Marines to become a warlord, a Shichibukai, depends on what you call it. But yeah, he definitely was having big plans in the future, and a warlord, I'm telling you right now, all the warlords, they have some sort of strength to them, unless you're talking about Buggy. One of my favorite fights post time skip is Law versus Smoker, and the reason why I love this fight, it's two guys who are they don't joke around. Let's be honest here. Law doesn't joke around, Smoker doesn't joke around. They're serious dudes, and they're definitely really strong. I know people have been hating on Smoker post time skip. Smoker is strong, but he just got his ass beat a couple times. And in this fight, we've seen that this fight they were evenly matched, both going in, putting in work, and out of nowhere, Law's power comes into hand, hits Smoker. His heart is in Law's hand, and Law defeats Smoker, and Law pretty much shows that he is stronger at that point than Smoker. Another fight that happened in that arc is the Punk Hazard fight and Virgo. And now a lot of people like to misunderstand the Virgo fight. A lot of the fight in the beginning, Virgo was actually beating up Law, and the reason why he was beating up Law was because he had Law's heart. It was pretty much obvious. We've seen with Law's heart, he's beating up Law. Like, some people think that that's something cool with Virgo, but as soon as Law got his heart back, it was over in literally maybe 2 seconds. He cut him in half, and then he cut his body in like many pieces. I gotta give Virgo props though. He did continue fighting, and Virgo was hyping up Doflamingo was hyping up Virgo's haki. He's like, Law, you can't get through Virgo's haki, and then Law gets through Virgo's haki. It shows that Law, people would like to disrespect Law. It's his Devil Fruit, but it has a lot to do with arm and haki and how strong it was. And the aftermath of that fight, Law cutting a mountain, yeah, that just shows Law's DC, and it makes me think the future when Trafalgar Law is in the end of the story fighting. Who knows, he might be a Yonko, I'm not too sure, but yeah, he's gonna have some devastating feats, and I'm excited. Now in Dressrosa, it was kind of a different story. Yeah, I talked about Punk Hazard and how Law defeated Smoker, defeated Virgo, and he pretty much had an easy ride. But in Dressrosa, it was the exact opposite. His first fight pretty much was against Doflamingo and Fujitora, and they had him pretty much done in. And the fact is that the Law in itself was just trying to buy time, and that's a lot of times you see him buying time. Fujitora had him with gravity, and then he got out of it, and then he went to save Sanji. A lot of crazy moments that happened, and Doflamingo was chasing him, but Law was kind of conserve his stamina, and a lot of times it was not really a serious fight if you think about it. But even if it was a serious fight, those are, in my opinion, the two strongest characters in Dressrosa. You might put Sabo in there, but yeah, two of the three strongest characters in Dressrosa. You might put Luffy in there too. I'm not sure who else you guys' opinion on that, but yeah, Fujitora and Doflamingo were no joke, and I gotta respect that. Even if they were actually seriously fighting, both of them is too much for Law. It's too much. And then we have later on, we have Law versus Doflamingo, and even Treble at points, and it showed that like Law was fighting Doflamingo. It's kind of like a kid fighting his parents. Doflamingo was way outmatching Law, just like Doflamingo outmatched Luffy in base Luffy form. It was not something that was really surprising. Doflamingo was a beast that people sleep on. Yeah, he is definitely a monster. Gamma Knife. Now, a lot of people saw Gamma Knife, and as soon as I saw Gamma Knife, I'm thinking if Law used Gamma Knife on any other character, it could be the end of them. Well, there's some characters that Devil Fruits and other things that might help them out, but Doflamingo is stitching his organs back. He was heavily injured after Gamma Knife. Even Luffy pointed this out. This move is a deadly move, but we gotta be honest here. Without Luffy, Law wouldn't be able to pull off this move. He used Luffy shambles, then pulled off the move, and he's like, you even see in the end of the chapter, it's like Mugiwara or the end of the episode. So definitely, I gotta give props to Law. That attack is crazy, and I seen Law switching his body with another guy. Like, Law is really crafty with his fighting style. Now, a lot of people forget about this fight, but Law actually did defeat one of the top executives of Doflamingo, Treble. And the funny thing about this is Law was so injured. He was fighting Fujitora and Doflamingo in the beginning. He was fighting Doflamingo and Treble. And then at that point, Law was fighting Treble. It was like Law was pretty much done and he had no energy. And the fact that Law destroyed him with one arm, like he didn't destroy him with his body even. He used his arm and his arm hit him with the attack. Treble was done in. He had to explode himself. And it showed that Law pretty much wrecked a top executive in the same way as Zoro, and he was even more injured. So definitely Pico's way stronger than Treble. So that's the whole people have been talking about Zoro Law. I had to bring that up. But when it comes to Law, a big thing with his fighting power is stamina. We see this all the time, keeping up his room. It's a big thing. We can't oversee this. It's something that Law has pretty much pointed out as being one of his weaknesses, if you want to say so. And I also want to say this though, Law, people sleep on Law just because it's Delphi. Law's Delphi is one of the most OP Delphis in the One Piece story, but people think that just because it's Delphi, he does not have a great haki. Law has amazing haki from what I've seen. It's not on the level of Doflamingo and Luffy, but it's like it's there. It's like it's close. But what I've seen from his haki, I've seen him blocking Doflamingo attacks. I've seen many occasions where he cuts Virgo, one of the guys who's propped for his haki. He has amazing haki. He cut Virgo, and you know that Doflamingo blocked Law's attacks while in room, so it shows that haki is a big thing when it comes to Delphi of Law's Delphi. So, and also we know that he commented on Luffy using too much haki when he was in Gear 4th. So Law has an understanding of someone who's using too much haki. So I definitely think that people have been sleeping on Law when it comes to his haki ability. Seemingly, I have to say at this point, Luffy is definitely strong with Law. We've seen that with Gear 4, the ability of Gear 4, how crazy it is. But I really want to see Law 100%, some more of Law fighting. And Wano is probably in the big place where he's fighting. At this point, I have to say that we have to look at the story purpose, and Law kind of seems in the future as one of the top guys, Luffy's rival, if you think about it in a weird way, even though they're allies right now. So I think that Law is definitely a top supernova, a top worst generation member, but I gotta see more from him. And I will tell you guys this, there's been huge debates, Roanoke Zoro, Trafalgar Law. I'm doing a video on it next week, so if you want to see that video, come check it out. And that's gonna be the toughest video I ever do, because I gotta look at that. Like, I'll be honest with you, it's right now 50-50 in the community. I've seen people say Law, I've seen people say Zoro, and you're gonna see my answer. Don't get mad at me when you see my answer. Like and share if you enjoy, like and share only if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece videos. I'm the LegendMac, and I'm gone.